Welcome back to the Siena Alumni Connection. I'm CC O'Reilly, and we are lucky enough to be joined today by Chris Elsesser, class of 2006. And Chris, again, thank you for coming into the show. We really appreciate having you on and getting you back in WVCR studios. But
that's it. DJ Sess is back on the air.
That's what it was.
Former Drive Home Boys, Dog Pound Dance Party, Saturdays at 3. That was really when everyone started waking up. Just great times overall.
Well, it's great to have you back. We can't wait to have you on campus. And, your wife, she actually graduated a year ahead of you, actually,
yeah.
Bree. And you guys met on campus. I was just going to kind of ask, how'd you end up meeting?
So I met Bree in 2004. She actually lived upstairs. I was a sophomore living in Padua in a two-man, very unheard of these days. We lived with an RA, and it was a winter break coming up. A good friend, a friend that we were both, knew, said, "Hey, what are you doing with the break?" I'm like, "I have no plans." He goes, "Oh, I know someone you can hang out with." Introduced me to Bree. Brienne, she was living upstairs, and we kind of just hit it off. We went out to a Chili's in Holtzville and talked for hours. That turned into coffee, and before you knew it, we were best friends. And it was one of those things where she was literally my best friend for probably as we got older, and my senior year when a lot of my my core group of friends had graduated. And then when I went to Fairfield, she was the one that probably kept me sane, working a million hours and going to grad school, and she was teaching. We got engaged in 2010, nice. And it should have been a lot earlier if I wasn't dumb.
You're catching slack for that still, it seems
right.
Like. Yeah.
And right, it's still getting slack, but we had a Siena wedding on Long Island with our friends and family, and we were married by Father Ken Pauley in Brienne's church in Massapequa, which was awesome. And now we have, here we are living on Long Island in West Islip. We have two sons. I have Mason, who's almost 6. He's in kindergarten, living the dream. And Hunter, who is just, he's awesome. He's just got a sparkling personality, and he's a rip. He's 2. And I think if I did the math right, that's Siena class of 20, 37, and 40.
It's like 37 and 41, maybe, something like that. Yeah.
37, I think it's 40. Yeah, I think he'd be shy of his 22nd birthday. So
that's I just got my goddaughter her first Siena t-shirt that says "This is my first Siena t-shirt." So they got t-shirts for every age group. You just got to do a lifelong recruitment like me.
And I have a lot of t-shirts, which is another point of contention in my marriage as well with Bree. So yeah. But yeah, no, and one of the things that brought Bree and I together was our passion for education, and I really think the secret weapon there is the education program. Education, it's not a job, it's a mission, right? And we're both, we have jobs, we get paid, but we really use it to serve the communities that we were hired to work in. What can we do to help young individuals, discover talents, grow up, and really I always feel like that every day it's the Siena values that are empowering us to navigate the obstacles that we encounter in working with kids, working with other adults, and if you look at Bree, she really is a spinning reflection of St. Francis and the teachings, of him. She's a tremendous teacher. She's a science educator in biology, marine science. She mentors new teachers. She helps out with Habitat for Humanity. But I think one of the things that sets her apart from the rest is that she's somebody that can connect with all types of kids and really help struggling learners, kids that maybe are special education, but kids that are also, just don't like school or not really interested in it. She gets those guys to pass. And, I think it just reminds me of a very famous quote by St. Francis, start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and the rest.
Yeah.
Then suddenly you're doing the impossible, right? And that's her. And then I think back to this last year of school, class of 2020 abruptly cancels, school last year. Now we got to graduate these guys. We got to celebrate this class. Here we are redesigning graduation, redesigning how we run a school. We're doing it again with the class of 2021. And every day is basically fueled by how can we make this work for kids? And it's hard, how do you lead an administration and during a pandemic? I fall back on my faith. I fall back on my ability to just, want to be here and want to serve. And that's kind of what's gotten me through the last year. And most importantly, over the last, 13 years of my career. But the education program really is the secret weapon here. It's a great program. It runs concurrently with a major. When you graduate, you have 144 credits, which is not easy. And it develops good people who want to be teachers, and it helps them just learn how to be, reflective and flexible, and how to learn to read your audience and work with the needs of kids. And I really think, having now been an administrator for I'm in my 5th year as an administrator. I've interviewed a lot of staff members. The preparation, the professionalism, the seriousness that a Siena grad brings to the table, it's really unmatched by, kids in other programs. And I'm not saying that, and I should say professionals, not kids, but I'm a kid at heart. It really is, second to none. And we have something really special going at Siena with that. And I look forward to giving back to that program in the years to come.
Well, we look forward to growing it. And, it's people like you as well, when you have the success stories that constantly shine even more light on our program, which I don't think it's tough to sell when you know there's a 17 or 18-year-old out there that knows. Let's just use another school, for instance, like a St. John Fisher, where they have the undergrad, and they kind of have the label as a major. People think that's the only way I can get into that career. But when you explain to them, it's kind of a little bit better to be more marketable with multiple degrees, and you can still do that same thing. Pre-law is not a major. And that's something that I think it's just understanding, if you have the calling and that's something you really want to do, that's how you end up enjoying what you do every day for the rest of your life, because you're in the right field.
Absolutely. And that's what's so great about being a Siena alum, because, you're a part of something, right? And it's special. And, and we're taught on campus, how to be generous with your time, how to give to others, how to share your talents and gifts. And, and how else can you just continue to learn every day? And here we are doing this as a career. And, listen, those were expectations that were drilled into us in this program. And if you didn't do those expectations, quite frankly, you were fired. I'll never forget the first day of professional seminar. Dr. Gorham, he's up there with Father Ken Poli, who was the chair of the department. And they basically, if you were going to call out sick, there was like 6 phone calls you had to make to do that. I'm sitting there going, oh my goodness, I'm never calling out sick. and it's just, you could tell 10 more stories like that, but it really is a special program. And I really think that, Siena grads who are, that want to work with kids and want to teach and are serious about the field are, knock on wood, always going to be employed.
That's great to hear. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, one thing that I kind of want to ask you and Bree, you're in Long Island, our second biggest area to recruit. It's, at a place a lot of our alumni end up going after they graduate as well. What are some of your favorite perks of being an alumni, especially on Long Island?
I think it's just being part of the Siena experience and sharing it with other students and prospective students and families that maybe want to get involved with that. You can see behind me. I have a couple of my things. I have my Siena logo with the, opposite screen, the throwback dog up there. It's the throwback mascot. We were talking about that a little earlier off the air. I got my Trust the Process logo, and it's really just teaching kids about the college admissions process, helping them find a good fit, like I said earlier, and really just sharing that love for something and helping kids find their passions. That's what I love about it. I really feel like we graduated 15 years ago, which is crazy, right? But I feel like we've never left. And we're a part of it. And listen, we're involved. We're on the road with the admissions team. I've been on the road with the admissions team since literally the fall of 2002. I never stopped.
We love you. Thank you.
And I love it. And you guys keep feeding me, and I keep putting weight on, so I'm just going to keep coming. But it's like an extended family, And I know I gave Ned gray hair back in the day with Ned Jones, the vice president for enrollment management. I gave him gray hair back in the day by holding that deposit check out right until May 1st. But it's great to get together, and it's just love. We love trying to contribute as much as possible as Siena alums.
Well, thank you. We do appreciate it, and everybody's got a different level to where they feel like they can give. And with Giving Day, Siena Giving Day, our annual, one big giving day. We usually do Giving Tuesday as well, but our Siena Giving Day is coming up on St. Patrick's Day, actually, on March 17th, a very popular day. But this is a day where it is something that we kind of go with the tagline, come back, give back, but also kind of reinvest in what you cherish. And that's something that's kind of different for everybody. And some people can do more than others, but it's a day where we all kind of try to band together to make the biggest impact, to show what makes us unique. And, it also
Absolutely.
goes right back into the students. And that's something that I think as we get older, knowing that, just coming from a student to working in admissions to now working in development, you kind of see how the whole college operates as a whole. And this day is a huge day for us because the college operates on a guess on terms of what we think we'll eventually raise on this day, but it all goes right back to the students. And that's the beauty of the annual fund as well, too.
It's funny, and I know we're running out of time, but I'll squeeze this in here. My mom, we get the mailings at home, we get the magazine. She's like, "Oh my God, they redid the dining hall. Aren't you upset that you missed that?" I'm like, "Mom, no, because you know what? It's helping the college grow, and it's bringing more students in. The Siena story is being written every single day. Our days as students are already written, right? That's in the chapter, that's in the history. But the environment of higher education now is more competitive than ever. It's challenging right now with the cost of college. We want to make sure that the college is continuing to offer superior offerings to both current and prospective students and helping people be able to write their story so that the Siena story remains a bestseller for years to come. And I know it sounds like a cliche, and I'm just that's my personality. That's my personality. But put it this way, my wife and I, Brianne and I, we would not be. I truly believe this, and this is why we give back, and this is why we'll always give back as long as we're able to give back. We would not be in the place that we are today, personally, professionally, without our Siena education. And I really feel that way. And I think it's just a really special time. I know they say Disneyland is the best place on earth. I think Siena is the best 4 years of your life. And it's one of those things that I'll always cherish as a special time. And I just really look forward to, promoting this day and just trying to, raise awareness for the college in any way we can for years to come.
Well, Chris, I couldn't say it better myself. So you just hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much for promoting Siena Giving Day next week. 5 days away. You can still make a gift online just by going to www.siena.edu/Siena Giving Day. But thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you being on our inaugural Zoom Alumni Connection show. We're going to continue to do this, and we can't wait to have you back on. But Chris, thank you so much for all you do for Siena.
Thank you, CC, and I hope I helped set the bar here. Now you have the official uniform that's going to be required for these Zoom sessions.
Exactly.
The background, all of these things. But this was a pleasure, and I really can't wait to come back, soon and just really keep talking about the Siena story.
We love it. We can't wait to have you back as well. Thanks again, and
thank you, sir.
For everybody listening at home, thanks so much for joining the Siena Alumni Connection. I'm your host, CC O'Reilly, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. You're listening to 88.3 The Saint, the station where we play anything. Have a great day and go Saints.